From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big morning as $1,400 third stimulus checks land by direct deposit for Wave 3 today. But are you in Wave 3 or are you in the newly announced Wave 4? And what about Wave 5 for veterans? Why have veterans been left behind for that $1,400 third stimulus check to mid-April? I have all those details as well. Meantime, today is a big day in which the president announces his fourth stimulus package bill. Away to the horse races we go with a massive push from Democrats asking for reoccurring stimulus checks. How will it formulate? And why is Wall Street so nervous about today's announcement? And why could this signal the start of a downturn of the economy? As many see the raising of taxes to pay for infrastructure as not a good idea, but a poor idea. Elsewhere, great news across the board as more stimulus checks continue to roll out. New announcements from SBA, new announcements from SSI and SSDI, Social Security and Rail Benefits, and good details from Direct Express Card of all that great news as well. And as we go into a new day, what should you know about what the Democrats are pushing for reoccurring stimulus checks and how this could ultimately be the biggest payday you have seen to date for stimulus? It's a big morning of a huge day in which $1,400 third stimulus checks are landing. Also, fourth stimulus heats up in its new form. And with that, let's get ready to rock and roll as early mornings LA starts right now. Morning. It's a big morning as the president debuts today his fourth stimulus package, and Democrats are already vowing to block it if he does not put reoccurring stimulus checks in there, and they are vowing to put it in there for him. How are you? It's a big morning of early mornings. LA, how you doing? Ready to crush the third wave? Away we go. First wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, everyone wave. Oh my goodness. Your stimulus check's coming in 10 days. Yes, so not. So not happening. Yeah, you were promised by this president that your stimulus checks, your $1,400 third stimulus checks would come in 10 days. No, they may come in 10 waves, but not 10 days. Just kidding. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. It's birthday week here on this channel. You don't want to miss a single video across the board. And boy, there was a lot of breaking news late yesterday, and I will recap in this video. So make sure you subscribe. Also like this video. Let's see if we can get 3,000 likes. If you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Hour, Calcio VIP. That came out as like member. It didn't have any letters to it. Let me give you the breaking details. Today is Wave 3 Direct Deposit Day, March 31st. Wave 3 direct deposits will appear in some bank accounts by direct deposit, including Direct Express, including the big banks, including the small banks, including people who had no alert that there was a pending direct deposit to occur. Also, mail checks are landing today. So let me explain what's going on, because it is now getting very elaborate. It's not easy to follow, and I'm going to slow it down for you. There was a first wave of $1,400 third stimulus check sent out March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. That's a Wednesday. The second wave of stimulus checks went out landed on March 24th. That's a second wave. Now, before I continue, let me make something very, very easy and breezy for you to follow. The way the Treasury has been doing these waves is the following. They send them out on Friday, they update their tool on Saturday, and the funds are available on Wednesday for direct deposit or by mail Thursday, Friday. Let's say that again. They send them out on Friday, they update the tool on Saturday, the funds are available on Wednesday by direct deposit, and then they appear by mail Thursday, Friday. So under Wave 3 was sent out last Friday. Viewers start to see it penned in the tool last Saturday. As we started this week, suddenly wave 2 and wave 3 intersected. Why? Let me explain. Wave 2's paper checks went out last week with a March 26 date. And hundreds of thousands of viewers that go to the IRS tool had that result, March 26 mail from the viewers of this channel. And a lot of them never got it by March 26th. Some got on March 23rd, some got on March 27th, but they didn't get by the March 26th, most of the viewers of this channel. The great news is that those March 26 checks came finally Monday and Tuesday this week. They're coming late. So if you haven't not gotten your March 26 check, don't worry. It's late, 4 to 5 days late. That's the second wave, okay? So now we're coming up to today. Third wave, direct deposit, March 31st. This is what you need to know. Some banks have prepaid the March 31st money. So if you are of these banks and don't see the money, you're likely not to see it today, the 31st, because they paid on the 30th and the 29th. Those banks are NetSpend, MetaBank, H&R Block Green Emerald Card, TurboTax, Chime, or Cash App. So which banks had pending deposits for viewers of this channel going into Wave 3 direct deposit today, March 31st. Those banks were big banks like US Bank, posted one pending for a viewer, also commercial, but also credit unions, and finally Direct Express card by Comerica had some pending deposits today for March 31st. Now here's something you also need to know. Viewers had alerts on the IRS tool for direct deposits today, March 31st, but not from their bank, and also had the reverse. They had the announcement from their bank by direct deposit pending, but not from the tool. So what should you do today for purposes of direct deposit? This one's an easy one. You just look at that account throughout the day. It may post later in the day. How many people do I think are going to get a direct deposit today? Not a lot. I think it's a smaller percentage. I have an enormous number of people who are pending that March 26 mail check. So that could land today. So what about later this week? Later this week, we're still in wave 3 week, the paper checks continue to land. They're April 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Those effective dates are still around the corner. Are those checks going to come on time? Hard to really say, but what I want you to know is the wave 2 checks from March 26th, they're very late. They're 4 to 5 days late. So you want to presume 4 to 5 days added on to that wave 3 checks. All right, so that brings us to the end of this week. And then comes Friday. You know what Friday is again? Friday is the day that they mail out checks so that they're available the next week by direct deposit on a Wednesday or the next end of the week for mail check. So what did IRS announce yesterday? IRS announced yesterday a series of sentences that have qualifiers in it. If we can, we may, and we will try to for this about, but not including. That was generally how the sentence read. But by the time people got the sentence, they understood the sentence to read, everyone's getting it on this day at this time. Not exactly what IRS said. And even if IRS in some place may have made it that basic, in other places IRS did not make it that basic. This is what they said. Wave 4 is going out by the end of this week if we have no other problems. Let's pull up that qualifier where they're basically doing a CYA. They're basically saying, if we have no problems, we will try to get it out by the end of this week. Let me show you their promises and representations. Here is the quote right here. If no additional issues arise, then we expect to complete the work at the end of this week. Again, there's the qualifier. We're not promising, but we're going to try to do our best. Okay, so then what are they trying to do their best with? They're trying to do a direct deposit approximately April 7th. Also a mail check around then, and also a direct express deposit from Comerica. So what they said yesterday was, if nothing goes astray, we're going to try to do direct deposit, mail check, and direct express card deposits from Comerica on or around April 7th. This is very important to listen to. First, it's not exactly April 7th. Number two, it's not only by direct deposit. Number three, they're not guaranteeing they're even going to get it done. They're going to try their best to get it done. Number four, this is the big one. If they do it, they're going to do it on Friday, and then they're going to update the tool on Saturday. So Saturday, you would see the updated tool result that says, yep, guess what? This for you. Now, I got more about that in a second, and I have the big shocker of why veterans are not included in this group. But there's a series of new videos released by the president yesterday, and among them was this one. And the president discusses the importance of battling the virus. And let's listen in on the president's message late yesterday in battling the virus.
I'm directing my COVID team to ensure there is a vaccine site within 5 miles of 90% of all Americans by April the 19th, 3 weeks from today.
He also signed an extension of the PPP program yesterday. Let's watch this new video from the president late yesterday extending the PPP program.
I want to thank Administrator Guzman, who's run this show for us, and we're really starting to move here. And the Vice President, thank you. Your focus on small business. We're pushing lenders to raise their game and provide more help to the many small businesses, you know, particularly Hispanic as well as African American small businesses are just out of business because they got bypassed the first time around. Today I'm proud to sign the extension, which I'm going to do in a second, of the Paycheck Protection Program. It is a bipartisan accomplishment. Nearly 90,000 businesses are still in line, and there's money left. Without somebody signing this bill today, there are hundreds of thousands of people who could lose their jobs and small and family businesses that might close forever.
Also making news this week and last weekend, as first detail on this channel, is SBA's changes. First, the SBA has offered now the extension of the EIDL loan for the first time in over a year. For all my EIDL loan applicants who try to increase their loan, you can now go to sba.gov to see that guidance. Second, the shuttered venue grant, which includes more than just venues, has now gone into preview mode, so you can apply to get an application as well. The EIDL grant is just around the corner. Also making news yesterday was the president's press team that answered questions about forced stimulus. And what was important to understand is during this press briefing, the press secretary was repeatedly asked about what's happening today. And all throughout the exchange, much like what she's done over the last few weeks, she said there is no bill. We haven't finalized it. We don't know. We don't see. We don't know. What about taxes? We don't know. We don't see. Not particularly accurate and not particularly truthful. The president's debut of the forced stimulus package bill will be today, all accounts say. And that bill will provide an increase of taxes. What type of taxes will be increased? I'll have all those details starting right now. First, there'll be an increase of capital gains taxes. Second, an increase of inheritance taxes. Third, an increase of the corporate tax. And finally, a wealth tax. A lot of taxes that hit more than just rich people. Inheritance taxes, corporate taxes, like a small business operator, as the president talked about, this all impacts everyone's bottom line. Wall Street is not excited about this. Wall Street has been very skitty this week, and they don't like hearing these type of things hitting while Wall Street is not particularly strong. Understand, if you're a sole practitioner and you have only 3 employees and you have an LLC, this hurts you. This hurts you. And will this get modified? Well, the press secretary did say in great news yesterday the president was not adverse to funding it different ways other than raising taxes. She didn't admit that it was raising taxes, but did say he was open to other ideas. Meantime, the president did roll out a series of other executive orders over the last 24 hours, which are really important to cover. 1, the eviction moratorium was extended on Monday. 2, there is now an extension of a student loan debt moratorium. Remember, they could not foreclose upon you for the moratorium or collect or put you into default because of student loan debt. He's now extended that deadline. That is also really quite great. Elsewhere, the president was asked yesterday about what about the $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness bill, which is in the Senate from Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer yesterday had asked the president and the viewers of this channel and any viewers of any channel to email the president to urge him to accept the executive order offer from Schumer to forgive $50,000 of student loan debt. The president rejected it and said, I'll do 10 and I'm not going to do it by executive order. A lot of details right there. But guess what's coming up still in this recording? I'm going to go over what's happening for mail checks between today and April 7th. One of the viewers on the channel offered a great question, one of the videos last night. And they said, so if I don't get it by direct deposit today, tomorrow, March 31st, then the next thing I will see is April 7th? No, this is a biggie. This is the one that makes me worried. Why am I worried? I'm worried when someone says that if they don't see it by direct deposit today, March 31st, they're going to see it. They think they're going to see it by direct deposit April 7th, and nothing in between. What's the reality? I have all those for you right after this commercial break. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on early mornings LALATE. If you missed EIDL overnight, it was at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by FBUC Retro, which has a push to put into the fourth stimulus package as well. How are you? Good morning. The toast is toast and the butter is butter, and I'm here, you're here. And how are you doing? Did you bring me bacon? Oh, you didn't. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. It's birthday week on this channel. I don't want you to miss a single video across the board. And boy, yesterday had a lot of news. And a lot of confusion as well. So don't miss a single video. Make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. It really helps in the algorithm ranking. Let's see you do 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 likes. And if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. Yeah, this is about the time that you want to become a member because you're going to see a lot of new bills and you want to see those bills. So consider becoming a member. Link is at the top of the channel and also in the pinned comment. If I don't get a stimulus check on the 31st, then the next day I'm going to get it is the 7th of April. Oh, no, that is not true. No. Let me explain what's going on. You could get a stimulus check any day this week. Let me explain why. Viewers of this channel, hundreds of thousands of them, show a March 26th mail check result, and those checks are still landing today, yesterday, and will land tomorrow. They're late. If you're one of the viewers this channel has no results for your name on the IRS tool, you have to presume you may be among that group because that's a large group of people. It includes people on the SSI and SSDI. It includes people on the Direct Express card. They show a March 26th mail check date. So you could actually be in that group and just not be in the tool results. Next, you could also be in the third wave of mail checks that are coming this week and not be in the tool results as well. Those third wave of checks are April 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and those are about to land early, on time, or slightly late. So the best advice to you has been the same advice over the last few weeks. Every day, check the mail, check the direct deposit, and check the tool. You do not want to miss it anywhere. My advice is very simple. I'm not worried about you missing a direct deposit that showed up a few days early. That's fine. I'm worried about you not looking at the mail, not listening to me and believing that it's only going to come by direct deposit. It lands in the mail, you don't see it, you don't watch it, it gets stolen or it gets discarded, and then comes April 7th and bam, there's no direct deposit. You wonder what went on. It had already been in the mail and you threw it away. Don't want that to happen. And trust me, I have hundreds of viewers from Second Stimulus who did it and threw it away. I don't want you to be that person. It's always easy to just find a check in the direct deposit account 2 days later that you didn't notice was there. But if you throw away a check from the mail, it's very hard to replace it. All right, now let me cut to the veterans. Lost in the whole discussion last week was the veterans. It's really quite unfortunate. It makes no sense. And the president released a video just a few days ago talking about how important veterans are. Well, if veterans are very important, then why aren't they getting stimulus checks like everyone else? Awful. You served the country and you did not get the first stimulus check on time. You can certainly Google that story as well. Veterans got their first stimulus checks late also, and away they go again. Now the Veterans Administration confirms that veterans will not get their stimulus checks in this wave 4 of April 7th. They will be in mid-April. Now, I have not asked veterans so far if any of them had gotten stimulus checks over the last couple of weeks during wave 1, 2, or 3. But the announcement yesterday from Veterans Administration was, yes, you are hearing about SSI and SSDI, Social Security and Rural Benefits coming in wave 4 on around April 7th, but that will not be veterans. We are in the middle of the week. No explanation why, but away we go again. There we are. Meantime, what is happening in that fourth stimulus package bill being debuted today? Let me explain what's going on. The president will debut a bill today, which he'll call infrastructure. He'll call one thing. Republicans will call climate. And we'll call it stimulus because it has stimulus in there. And when he debuts that bill, it will have some stuff in there and it'll have stuff not in there. What I need you to know is the following. The bill will go by reconciliation. Without going into a very long video about this, because it could be a very long video, Chuck Schumer will do and can do this one by reconciliation. He maybe cannot do the fifth stimulus package, which is in May, by reconciliation again. But this one, he absolutely can. And so when he does it, it will land in the Senate. Guess what? This time, in a way I can't ever recall seeing before, Democrats have become extremely vocal about what they're demanding in the bill and saying, guess what? And when it lands in the Senate, if it's not in there, we're putting it in there. Let me explain why this is important for me to tell you this ahead of time. Because when you see the bill today, you may not see reoccurring stimulus checks in there. But guess what? Yesterday, for the third time, Democrats in the Senate, 20 of 50 of them, wrote the president a letter saying, guess what? If you don't put reoccurring stimulus checks in there, we're putting it in there when the bill lands there. And we can do that. Remember, under a reconciliation bill, the president needs every Democrat to vote in favor of the item. But what's more important is that when a reconciliation bill lands in the Senate, it becomes that vote-a-rama that goes on for 2 days, where they vote and do amendment and vote and do another amendment. Well, these Democrats, 20 of 50, have said, we're going to do a vote-a-rama amendment to put it in there if you don't put it in there. This is huge. This would be more money for you than SSI and SSDI $2,400. More money than hazard pay, more money than FPUC retro. It would apply to the viewers that are watching for that third stimulus check right now, $1,400. It would be monthly. It would be paid by IRS to you monthly. It would come on time every month, and it would be an amount sizable. All counts look like it's somewhere around $1,400 now, maybe $2,000, but it looks like it's heading down towards $1,400 at the moment. And it would be monthly for many months to come. This is per individual. And this is if you made less than $75,000. So you could suddenly see stimulus checks every month for the end of this year. Would you see the stimulus checks the way that standalone bill was introduced over the weekend? No. So that standalone bill, which I detailed over the weekend, provided for stimulus checks every month until a year after the pandemic's over. That's not going to happen. The idea was the following: $2,000 for the first month and then $1,000 per month for 1 year after the pandemic's over. That's not happening at all. Elsewhere, what else is absolutely brand new? Well, it's important to understand that when you're looking at these stimulus check arrivals for $1,400 third stimulus checks, Treasury, SSA, and the president have changed their narrative literally every 2 days. And I think viewers now see that. So when they heard yesterday the April 7th or about April 7th or maybe April 7th, they started to become skeptical. And I want you to be on focus as well. Why? Treasury a week ago said if you don't get the stimulus check by March 24th, you're not getting by direct deposits in the mail. They've changed that. Now they're saying it's coming by direct deposit as well. The President of the United States said your stimulus check is coming within 10 days. Now he's changed that. It's not coming within 10 days. Treasury also said in 2020 that if you don't have to use the non-fire filing tool, we know everything about you. Now they say you had to have used the non-fire filing tool. We didn't know anything about you. Then we have Representative Neal that had that strange letter said, no one on SSI and SSDI has gotten stimulus checks. Yeah, they have. No one got stimulus checks because IRS doesn't know whether you are. Yeah, they do know where you are because we have hundreds of thousands of viewers who are on SSI and SSDI and appear in that March 26 tool result. So you're going to see a lot of narratives that don't make sense and contradict just a few days earlier. I expect that to continue till everyone gets their stimulus check. The best advice is don't miss the mail. What does that mail check look like? It'll come in a beige envelope or a white envelope. This is the second stimulus check. It was for the debit card. The envelope is very plain Jane. There's no seal. There's no logo in the corner. It is very thin. It is very easy to toss away because it's very light. All it puts in there is the check, and that is it. Or the debit card. It's very thin. On the outside of this one says important information about your economic impact payment. If you toss this looking for a direct express deposit for April 7th, and you toss this on March 31st, or you toss this on April 2nd or 3rd or 4th when it was in the mail, boy, you are not going to be a happy camper because it's hard to replace a tossed check. Hundreds of viewers did that under second stimulus. This time around, we know what to look for. We know it's bland, we know it's white or beige, and we know that it may show up unexpected. Finally, these are the people who would not get stimulus checks directly to them. If you have a representative payee, the payee gets your stimulus check, not you. If you're a dependent on someone else's tax return, you're not getting the stimulus check, they're getting the stimulus check. And also, finally, if you are a member of a household, you're not getting the stimulus check, the head of the household is getting the stimulus check. Finally, one of the greatest questions I had yesterday was the following, where one viewer said, what if I have mixed benefits? What if I'm a veteran and I'm on SSI or SSDI? Or what if I am a husband and wife? Husband's a veteran, but I'm on SSA. When and where would that stimulus check land? Really hard to say. Basically, the viewers are asking, are we going to be held up for fifth wave or could we come earlier in fourth wave? Really hard to say. Every day, check that mail, check that deposit, and check that tool. Treasury confirmed yesterday, that the tool will update itself Saturday if a fourth wave of checks are sent out on Friday. With that, hopefully this video has gotten you up to date and informed about where things are. I hopefully have recapped the important details so you know the timing of when things are. Remember, payments are sent out on Friday. They start to post in the tool on Saturday. They have effective dates for direct deposit the next Wednesday. Some banks release them before the Wednesday. The big banks release only on Wednesday. Direct Express by Comerica only releases on Wednesday. And then we have the mail checks later that week until we repeat the next process again that Friday for the next wave. That is how they make those payments. What a big day it is. Today, you're going to see that fourth stimulus package and ultimately stay positive, stay informed, stay motivated. Don't worry about Temple Doom because she's going to be back. Yes, Temple Doom 2020 is going to be back because she is going to have some really tough words about what's happening. Republicans are going to say it's a climate bill, not an infrastructure bill, which is true. It does have a lot of climate in it. Other people are going to say it's a taxing of the wealthy people. It's not. It's a taxing of a lot more than wealthy people. And it's going to have things missing in there. Purple Power, remember, we're pushers. We push. Purple Power push. If you think there's something missing in the bill, send me a DM and want to start a hashtag campaign. If the hashtag campaign has not already started, start it up, and I will follow through with you as well. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. It's a big day. And across the board, I hope you are safe and calm, focused, and motivated. I look forward to seeing you on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 noon today. As always, stay here and stay smiling and stay LA for more.